I think this one right here, right? Is it this one? To go back and make a different choice. Why is the new game? I think that's where it was. Freaking all weird looking. That's the end? Let's just... Wait, why is it... a glitch? Like, where's Sayori? Let's see what... new game. Let me turn that up a tad bit. Did you hear that though? It sounded like it was like, You feel I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. So this is, yeah, it's completely started over, but the girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. Why is it glitched though? Is it because she's dead? It's my fault. Fuck's sake. Okay, so we've already read through this. So I'm just gonna skip through since I've already read through this. I can't skip. But she's gonna chase me after this. I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh. Okay. What the hell? It's an ordinary school day like any other. Mornings are usually worse, being surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. This is new, right? Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. This isn't a new game. I always tell myself it's about time I meet some girls or something like that, but I have no motivation to join any clubs. Perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. So I think we've read that. There's always an anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. The school day is as ordinary as ever and is over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. There really aren't any that interest me. I don't know if I've read this already. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Lark. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. Why is it... Because I think Sayori was the one to come. What the fuck is this game? Monica? Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right? Ah. Yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic, basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... What did you come in here for, anyway? Oh, I've just been looking for supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? We used to, like... Sayori isn't coming back then? The fudge. Well, I can just... New game. As long as I don't overwrite any of my saves, I can just go back and redo that and see if it has a different ending instead of the ending I got. Is that like the worst one you can get? Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? I feel like shit right now. Or markers. I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right? About that. I actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Y'all? To be honest, I can't stand all of the politics, so we've already read this. Feels like nothing but arguing about the budget. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy. I wonder if it's all the same and just without Sayori. Why are there glitches going on? In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. Fuck! It's loud in my headphones, okay? A literature club? Literature? That sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far? It's kind of embarrassing, but there are only 3 of us so far. So there is no Sayori. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that. But it's really not boring at all, you know? Literature can be anything. I'm sorry. I'm like slurring everything. I drank too much today. No, I'm joking. Reading, writing, poetry. I always suck at reading. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room. Wait, really? Is that new? Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. Besides, a member's a member, right? Did Monica say she... What'd she say? I can't remember now. Hey, Mark. By any chance, are you still looking for a club to join? I mean, I guess so, but in that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at the very least visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please. Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monica? Sure, I guess I could check it out. Awesome. You're really sweet, Mark. You know that? Not that sweet if I caused my best friend to die. Fuck's sake, I had to redo that and see if it changes anything. Or if it's no matter what you choose, it's a bad choice. No matter what. What the fuck is this game? It's nothing really. Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. And thus today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. I timidly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. I'm back, and I brought a guest with me. Can't vape on this too much because it's dead. God damn these sounds and this glitch. Fuck. A guest? Seriously, you brought a boy? I'm a boy. Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club, Lark. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. This boy. So let me guess. You're Monica's boyfriend, right? What? No, I'm not. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual, and this is Yuri, the vice president. So instead of Sayori being vice president, it's Yuri. It's nice to meet you. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. So I ran into Lark in a classroom, and he decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monica, didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know. Sorry. I didn't forget that, but I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Lark? There's no cupcakes this time. The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other, so this is all new. Great. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monica. So I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. Must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile, but it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can really grow this club before we graduate, so this is all the same. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess. Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these two. Where's Sayori? Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom, so we've had that conversation. I'm just gonna skip ahead, because, like, I'm confused. Like, is it just... I don't know. I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not. Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, yeah, we've had this conversation. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, Lark, what kinds of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read in these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. Looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. She's the one that's got that manga collection in the closet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep, so we've already had this conversation. I want to skip ahead and see what the fudge, like if everyone has like a sad story going on. The game is not what it seems, I guess. That fucking went dark real fast. Like, right at the end, so I made the wrong choice, didn't I? Telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. So it's all the same, somewhat the same, just there is no Sayori. Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. So, already read all this. I can't skip it though, even though I've already been through this kind of conversation. The ones that are new is the conversation with Monica. It suits your personality. Oh, is that so? Really, if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh. I hate horror. Oh, why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. I still want to know why. Why is she looking at me? Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you? So we've already read this. I'm just gonna give that back. Fine. Yeah, well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. So yeah, we've already been through this. I just want to skip, but I can't skip on this. Go home and write a poem of our own. So I guess it's just gonna take off the same, just without Sayori. I think you're right, Monica. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take on the responsibility of vice president after all, so this is new. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Lark? Hold on, there's still one problem. Sayori is gone. What's that? Now that we've reached the most important topic, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Monica may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. But I still have other clubs to look at, and no thank you. I'ma join the anime club, alright? All three girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But now I'm afraid to even play this, because what if I make the same thing I did the first time and make a stupid ass decision? And it ends horribly. Can this even end good? Yeah, it should. Because you get two choices, and usually it's the good outcome or the bad outcome. Fuck, I can't believe it. I fucking knew it. I knew that would be a bad choice. I'm sorry. I thought... The girls exchange glances before Monica turns back to me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, Lord. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4. Been trying really, really hard to find new members, and if we don't find one more before the festival, I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I would feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. So if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls, right? Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Mark? Yeah. It could be fun, right? You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if we really just left after all this, I would be super pissed. Girl? Mark, I'm so happy. We can become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay? Everything? Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone, remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Lark, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star, Monica, with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow then. Can't wait. With that, I depart the club room and make my way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the 3 girls. Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. But in the first playthrough... Hold up, when we go to the poem, will I really be happy spending every day after school in the literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. This boy. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. It didn't the first playthrough. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. This is new. You have unlocked our special poem. Would you like to read it? No. I wonder if I can select no. I want to read it though. Is this one of those where I can... Fuck. I thought it'd be one of those where you can click the black boxes and see what's under it. The first one was no. Hold up. I'm gonna make sure. Wait. I'm gonna make sure I'm recording, but... What the fuck? Son of a bitch. Motherfucker. Well, if it started like that with the game after I just ended one playthrough, I can't go back and change my fucking answer with Sayori. So I'd have to start the whole game over, but I did, and it's to this without Sayori. And like, you can't even choose Monica. It showed up like 3 of them. I can't remember in the first one if it showed up all 4 of them at the end of the, after your first meeting with the literature club, but it only, you can't choose Monica. Okay, so the letter, what the hell did it read? It looked like no. I'm trying to remember what it said. Swear to God, I thought I said nothing is real. It looked like, nothing is real? Look like, because all the words that were blocked off, and the ones that weren't. I think that's what it said, no, team, thing, but it's all, I think it said nothing is real. I'm wearing the perfect shirt for this. It's all in your mind. Look at how freaking it's come apart. It used to be like a vaporwave room. Now it's just come apart after washing it so many times. So this is where we have to choose what they like, and I know Natsuki likes cute things and Yuri likes dark things. That's where we learn Sayori is kind of like a mix between them, like kind of romance and whatnot. Let's go with Yuri. I kind of want to get closer to her. Like those quiet types. Let's go. Yes. I don't even know what this word is. So I'm gonna pick things I think she'd like. Suicide. Can see Sayori. Special. Oops. Massacre. Oh, you can walk? Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Ha ha ha. Nah, don't worry. How do you fake laugh? Ha ha. Ha. Ha ha. I can't. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Goddamn surround sound. Was her face just like, thanks for keeping your promise, Lark, but why are there glitches if it's a new game, and like why would you take Sayori away? Like, how do I even get a new game where I can start completely over if he deleted all my saves? But I don't know if like when you start a new game does it delete all the saves, but it says like it shouldn't, because I think you gotta go and overwrite it or delete it yourself. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. That's not even scary, but it's just, I'm not expecting it because it's a cute game, and so when something comes on, it's like, Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. He already had to be dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take it seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Wait, why is she like... Okay, you have a big mouth for someone who keeps manga collection in the club room. Why is she over the thing? That's never happened before. I don't think. Or was it in the first one that happened? I don't fucking know. Jesus Christ. Whole house is rumbling. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature, it is. I think you can see that. Dura Ra Ra. Dura Ra Ra Ra? I don't know how many Ra's are in Dura Ra Ra Ra. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. I'm sorry, Lord. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance. I feel like the music's different on some parts. I feel like it like slows down. Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might have interest in picking up a book to read. Well, I think this is new. I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now. I'm so sweaty and hyper, it's late. So it only feels right for me to do something like that, if you ask. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. Ah, no, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try and be part of this club. You get to know girls, okay. So even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. Are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into her back and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, but it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. A fewy. What is that? Well, you can read it on your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the event, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. Like, is it... like, what kind of glance or... like... But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I met her, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. So this is all new. Whoa, dude, look at her eye. Do you guys see that? I was supposed to say, her eye placement looks kind of weird on this drawing or whatever. And now it's still moving. Stop! What is going on with this game? Dude, that's creepy. Stop. I can put your eye back. Can I click that? Get your eye back in there. Do I wonder if I just don't move or anything, or change the scene, if the eye will eventually leave the screen? Oh, I think it stopped moving. Yeah, it finally stopped moving. It looks like her hair has her eyeball. Dude, what the fudge? I wanted to reread some of it. Well, you can't when your eye's doing that. What the fudge? That was fucking creepy. Not for any particular reason. Just curious how come you have two copies of the same book. So, usually I don't even look up at their faces because I'm reading. Now I'm like, just curious how come you have two copies of the same book. Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. See, that's like the same thing, but her eye was moving. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's the story about, anyway? Well, I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison. And the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. But the facility gets even worse and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to... Oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler. But anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean. Not the thing about the limbs. You sure about that, Yuri? Kinda sound weird. That's a horrible first read for somebody that doesn't read much. It's kind of dark, isn't it? Yes. It's very dark. Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Lark? Well, no, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. Enjoy them? Enjoy. You can enjoy those stories? I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. I guess if you're into some... I have some dark books, so I guess. Nothing like that. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. I'm waiting for her freaking eye to start moving again. Why? It's just that this kind of story, it's the kind that challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyway. What the fuck is this? That's freaking weird script. I don't like it. Because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyway. Damn. Kind of agree. Then suddenly, what'd that say? Then suddenly? I'm rambling, aren't I? Dude, you are rambling hardcore. I don't know what the fudge was that, but not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Dude, I have. Well, I guess it's alright then, but I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, my whole body gets incredibly... What? I kind of forget to pay attention to other people, so I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. This is completely different than how she was before. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? Fuck. Fucking too loud. Yes. I mean, you don't have to, but just don't glitch like that again. Why is this shit glitching? Why isn't it starting out the same? as it was before. Ahaha, what are you saying? Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieve the book that I had put in my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. That's... fruit fly? That's... I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not particularly a bad thing, maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just bathing in the... What did that say? What the fuck? It looked like I was just bathing in the feeling of... Was it your body? And then, I don't know. Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do. I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Fruit fly? I mean... Ahaha. Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's and hold my book more between two of them. Bugs. I suppose so. Is that a moth? Sorry, little dude. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. It's fucking hot up here. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. Feels like my left arm is in the way, so I instead use my right hand to hold the book open. Don't touch me. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Oh, let's read. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I could feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Did her eyes just like switch to look over? To turn the page? Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and her eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. Oh, it's so weird how their faces change. Like, I guess. You're not as used to reading, right? You're not as used to reading, right? It's too close, I don't like it. I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do. Since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it at my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. You're just reading a book, dude. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. No, I can't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really? I was just thinking the way she second guesses things she says and all that. That's what you were talking about. Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. She looks freaked. We didn't even get that far yet, so I don't know why that came into my head. I'm too close to this person, I can't handle it. Yuri, are you feeling alright? Eh? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. Yeah, me too. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... My breathing? Yuri puts her hands on her chest as if to feel her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water. Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. She stands up and sprints out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Lark? Did something happen just now? Eh? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything? Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her? Oh, no, not really. I'm just making sure that you didn't do anything to her. Just reading a book, dude. Chill. No, nothing. Hahaha, don't worry. I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start with sharing our poems with each other? Eh? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a while. So I just figured we'd get started without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. Make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. Let's go with Natsuki. She'll probably hate it. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first. My ass. What the hell is this game? Lark? Why I chose that name, I don't know. If you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. I'm like on edge. I feel like I have to, like I'm in like fight or flight right now. My ass is hurting. What? Harsh? What, you expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer, dude. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of your first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I'd tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. You don't know me. So, yeah, this is the same poem. It's the first time. Yeah. I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I'll like it. Aha. Don't worry, Lark. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Lark. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. Not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. That's right, boy. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. So, that way it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Hell yeah. Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean that like it's a bad thing though, but sometimes I get the impression that she's just totally given up on people. She spends so much time in her own head that it's probably a much more interesting place for her. That's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction, so don't blame her for coming on a little strongly. Like earlier, I think as she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time. That sounds like introverts and antisocial. Right? Yeah, it gets too stimulated when you're out in public or with a lot of people or just a few friends, so you gotta go home and recharge your social battery. Suddenly, the door opens. Yuri! I'm back. Did I miss anything? I better not be moving. Not really. Well, we started sharing our poems with each other. Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm glad that you took all the time you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should get my poem now. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in the wall. Wait. Hold up. Hole in the wall. Hole in wall. But he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glanced at my surroundings. But my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling playing tricks on my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen. Now, this is different because something I thought in the first poem, like the same poem, she said something like cosine. The boyfriend looking through the room or the hole. Yeah, this is a different poem. So hers has changed. So what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it, but it looks like it's the same conversation. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is a lot of poems that have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. Kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone's better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. And another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big, dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. You're welcome. Oh, I wonder who to show it to. I mean, there's no one left. I'm waiting for her eye to just start flying. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth and ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. Could I always read their thoughts? I mean, see them like that? You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from me here. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Y'all? Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical in new writers. Having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. It's like the same conversations, but different at the same time, and then these glitches also jump out at random points for some reason. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finishes her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback, and it's already been 30 minutes. Well, I finished. What is happening? I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Nasuki can be a little bit biased, though. Biased how? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about other people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost Under the Light. Okay, so that's the same one she wrote the first time, so besides Tiori not being here, Monica's is the one that's a different poem. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Yeah. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? I feel a breeze. Hoo-hoo. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Lord. Really? God, I'm sweating. I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember, the poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experience in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only symbolically compared to a ghost. It's my Nico. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, soon to be left with nothing. It's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I haven't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too. Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end I enjoyed it. I'm gonna keep doing my best for you, Mark. Me too. Phewie. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities, even if they're just being nice. I don't know. The flute is almost... Is that a flute? Or clarinet? Oh, I don't know. It almost sounded off pitch. Probably not. Just my ears being weird. Fudge. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Monica's writing something in her notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? So I was able to hear their thoughts or see the thoughts that they were thinking. Because I remember that from the first part. Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns a poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Eh? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it, which people did, by the way. Monica liked it, and Lark did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. Like I said before, children, you're in high school, stop. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Lark liked my poem too, you know. Don't drag me into this. He even told me he was impressed by it. Nasuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Eh? That's not what I... God, the music stopped and I was getting ready for a jump scare or something. You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Lark appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. So that's already... We've seen this conversation before. Yeah. Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose bibs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Lark started showing up. Not Nasuki. Nasuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you taking out your own securities on others like that. You really act as young as you look, Nasuki. Oh, this is new. Me, look who's talking, you wanna be edgy bitch. Edgy? Sorry that my lifestyle is too much for someone of your mental age to comprehend. See? Just saying that proves my point. Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know? If you want to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by dressing and acting cute? The only cute thing about you is how hard you try. What's happening? Whoa, be careful or you might cut yourself on that edge area. Oh, my bad, you already do, don't you? Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the fuck is wrong with your head? Yeah, go on. Let Lark hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after this. Suddenly Yuri turns towards me as she noticed I was standing here. Lark? She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. How did I get dragged? It's not whoever I agree, so of course. Oh god, I don't know. I don't freaking know. Who am I agreeing with? What am I agreeing with them about? Freak, Natsuki will hate me, but... No? Okay, no? That's Monica? What the fuck? Hey Lark, why don't we step outside for a little bit? Okay? Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. Ahahaha. Should probably split that fight up, girl. The fudge is going on to this game? What the hell? I don't even know what any of the other weird lettering was saying. It went way too fast. Some president I am, right? I can't even confront my own club members properly. Freaking go in there and be a friend, at least. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive sometimes, but I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend time with you instead. What? Yeah, something weird. Suddenly Natsuki runs out of the classroom. In tears. She quickly runs away. Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're done. Probably check on them. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yuri is rocking back and forth on her desk with her palms on her forehead. Yuri, I didn't mean it. I believe you. Where's the music? I don't like how quiet it is. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki. Or did. Lord, please don't hate me. Please. I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget all about it tomorrow. Completely. Anyway, the meeting is over, so you can go home now if you want. Yuri looks at me like she wants to say something, but she keeps glancing at Monica. You can go first, Monica. I'd like to stay a little bit longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today. Kinda sounds like you don't want me around for something, Yuri. It's not that. It's not that. I didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Lark. It would just be embarrassing with you listening. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing trouble, but I really... God, I hate those noises. What? We didn't even discuss a fucking book. What the fuck is this game doing?